We will all stand on this existing protocol so that we can move on. I hope you agree with me. Yes. Thank you very much. So, I single you out, Mr. Chairman. Allow me to begin this welcome address by expressing my sincere gratitude to the Ghana Catholic Bishops' Conference for honoring the diocese with the hosting of the second National Catholic Education Forum here in the seat of the diocese, and for that matter, the capital of the Eastern region of Ghana. I welcome you all to the Catholic Diocese of Koforidua, and I know that the Honorable Regional Minister will, in her own capacity, welcome you to the Eastern region. You may recall that the first National Catholic Education Forum was held in Kumasi in November in the year 2011 on the theme, the Church and State Partnership in Education. The Catholic Church Experience Challenges and the Way Forward. This theme was well discussed during the forum and the outcome published, but it appears the follow-up and the outcome published and makes the engagement with the government and its implementation was not pursued vigorously for serious consideration in education delivery in the country. This forum, which was planned to have taken place last year, with Kumasi as the venue, had to be delayed because it was a year of elections. Bishops did not want the outcome of the forum to affect any of the political parties and their chances of winning, or even, if I can say, losing the elections. It was therefore rescheduled for this time, but then with a change from Kumasi to Koforidua. Because of certain logistical challenges and considerations, Kumasi could not host it. Thank you for choosing Koforidua. You will certainly enjoy your stay here. Don't forget, the Akosomo Dam is right in the Eastern region. And we can control the power in this country. This educational forum is under the theme, and I quote, Catholic Education for Integral Development, Shaping a Resilient and an Inclusive Ghana. From the above, it is obvious that the Bishops' Educational Forum was planned much earlier than that of the government, and for that matter, thoughts and suggestions by some that the church seems to be competing with the state should not even arise. A study of the documents from the first National Catholic Education Forum reveals presentations on the historical facts about the church's involvement in education delivery in the country, not forgetting that of our sister Christian bodies like the Wesleyans, Basel, and Bremen missionaries. The then bishop responsible for education, Most Reverend Philip Name, traced the education delivery in the country from 1850 onwards, from the castle or fort schools on to the outside of them. By 1900, we know that the Wesleyans had 100 schools. Basel missionaries had 154 schools. The Catholic Church had 17. The Bremen missionaries had 20, with the government of Ghana having 7. So all the missionaries, we had more than that which the Ghana government at that time had. Bishop Philip Namen quotes, and I quote from him, "It could therefore be noted in the annual report that the greatest single factor in this large-scale expansion of education facility in the country was perhaps the cooperation between the government, the missions, and the local people. But above all, the realization by government at that time that education is better enhanced when the missions are supported financially in the building and management of their schools." This is a quotation from the then Bishop in charge of education, presently Most Reverend Philip Namen. Archbishop Namen made reference to the 16 principles of Sir Gordon Guggisberg in 1925, which form the general framework for education delivery in this country. And I make reference to only one of them, that is the 14th principle. And it states, there should be cooperation between the government and the missions, and the latter should be subsidized for educational purposes. End of quote. Archbishop Philip Namen's presentation also focused on the different regimes that had to deal with matters concerning education. The National Liberation Council, NLC, of 1966, the Kwapong and Jogo Educational Review Committees, and the New Educational Reform of 1987. But interestingly, all of this did not have representatives from the churches. Can you imagine? In 1999, the then Honorable Minister of Education, Ekos Pio Gabra, issued certain directives on management and supervision of schools founded by the missions. Till now, we have not had any government assenting to this memorandum. I am to welcome you to the diocese. Sorry if I have bored you with all the above. Now to some concerns in education delivery in the country, as both the government and the missions are looking for ways in resetting, that's the word, resetting of education delivery in the country. And these are some concerns that I have. Shortfalls in infrastructure in most of the schools, especially from basic to senior high levels. Financial deficit in the management and administration of schools by the heads. Non-availability of textbooks. Should senior high secondary school still be 3 years or 4 years? The abolition of computer school placement system. Some of us are strongly suggesting that we abolish that. Parents and guardians should have a right to choose the schools, that is the senior high or technical, that they want their children to attend, and not to be dictated to by a computer. We all know that which goes with this computer placement, CSSPS. The other point that I have is a non-negotiable 20% admission of Catholic students into our founded mission schools. If we have built these schools, admission into these schools, we should also have at least a percentage. And I'm recommending that at least every academic year admissions, we should have 20% of the students who are attending first year. It should not be negotiated at all. A well-coordinated supply of nourishing food for students. I believe those who are headmasters and headmistresses, you know what I'm talking about. I was surprised to hear that the past couple of years, students were not eating red bread. repetition of non-performing students to make way for the so-called wholesale promotion. Some students are just not making it. They are just lazy. And because they know that wholesale promotion, they just are not serious. So they should be repeated if they don't perform. Provision of sick bays with qualified health personnel in all these schools, senior high and technical schools. Training of teachers to teach the Ghanaian languages, especially at the basic and secondary levels. Recognition of the role of local managers in the basic level especially. And also, we should allow the channels of operation and administration to work from the district, municipal, metropolitan directories instead of direct instructions from the Director General's office and even in some cases the Minister's office. We have experienced this in the past couple of years. We think this whole business of centralizing administration should really be respected. And then also respect for headmasters as colleagues in education delivery. It will interest you to know that some heads in the past have been invited to headquarters and they have been asked to come report so early in the morning. They are not attended to even sometimes until about 5 p.m. Why? We should respect ourselves and respect these heads. Emphasis on religious and moral education training in all our institutions. And then the reintroduction of science resource centers in the senior high schools. Just as we have the STEM schools, I think we should not neglect the science resource institution system because it was also very helpful. And then enhancement and retooling and staffing of all the TVET institutions. Mr. Chairman, all protocols observed. As we are in the Jubilee Year of Hope, it is my ardent hope that our gathering here in Koforidua and before the presentations and deliberations would produce some form of solutions to the above concerns and challenges affecting education delivery in the country. Ghana certainly needs educational review. Let us be guided by the Holy Spirit to churn out an educational system that will be more beneficial to our country, its cultural values, and at the same time, meeting international standards. Once again, you are welcome to the Catholic Diocese of Koforidua. If there is anything that we can still do to make your stay here memorable, do not hesitate to contact any of the planning committee members who will be more than glad to assist you. But just as the Emeritus Archbishop Peter Kwesi Sapon will also add, if there is something you want and we cannot help you to have it, we'll help you to do without it. You are welcome. Have a fruitful deliberation. Enjoy your stay in the diocese. God bless you.